Danby, welcome for coming to the Hong Kong Science Park, and we also welcome you to be on our YouTube channel.
Hi everyone, my name is Danby, and now I'm a year 3 student studying at the University of Hong Kong, majoring in accounting and finance. And apart from my studies at the University of Hong Kong, I'm also the founder and chairman of the Group Investment Holding Limited, and also the advisor of Luminate Network as well as ECI Magazine. So apart from my work and also studies, I really enjoy reading and writing, and that is also the reason why I'm here today, to share a little bit more about the 4 books that I have published in the recent year, and also to share some insights and insider stories about the books that I've written.
So you mentioned about that you're still in university. So what motivates you to handle so many things in one go, from startups, advisory roles in other companies, charity work, and even publishing books?
Actually, staying in the university is the best time for you to discover anything that is possible. For example, you have entrepreneurial centers at school, you have mentorship, you have friends around you so that you can try several many different things. But the purpose behind all my work and also publishing book is about influencing people positively. I'm a firm believer that your underprivileged background or your studies, your school that you're coming from does not matter the most. What really matters is your mentality, your attitude, and your positive thinking. So people may think that actually the result or the money you have or how successful you are is basically surrounded by your achievement. But once you have all this achievement and once you have money, you have what you want, then you'll be happy. But actually, I believe that is the other way around. It is when you're happy, when you're productive, when you're proactive and ambitious enough, then all the good things and achievement and your success will come and find you. So from my startups, from my business advisory role, as well as my book, there is one goal, one main goal, which is to influence people positively, to inject the positive psychology, positive thinking into their mind, and then to make positive changes to our society. So my business side is more about empowering young entrepreneurs and acquiring their startup, giving them mentorship, opportunity, advisories, etc. While my books are more focusing on young readers like primary school students, secondary school students, and also university students. So yeah, basically that is it.
Speaking of the books, I know you have been publishing 1 book per year since 18 years old. Can you introduce your writings? Maybe at 18 years old, I have never written off first?
Sure. So this is an exclusive interview opportunity on TecTechain. So I'll share a little bit more about the insider story behind the scene, right? So at 18 years old, I have never dreamt of was actually published in 2019, December of it. And then back then in 2018, I got the scholarship from the Harvard of Hong Kong, from the Harvard Book Prize Scholarship. So after that, I had an opportunity to head to Harvard and to study for the summer semester. And that was really an eye-opening and life-changing event. So at 18 years old, I have never dreamt of basically summarize my early life changes and the elements that I discovered very useful and very unique in my life, and then to formulate 2 formulas leading to changes and also a more productive life. So the first book that I have written in 2019 is basically finished halfway on the airplane and another halfway when I head back to Hong Kong. So this book aims to provide some more insight and formulas for students to follow. If you're stuck in the bottleneck, if you're facing some difficulties and hard time, do not give up, because I'm giving you some insights and formulas that you can try it out. And that is also related to the 3rd book that I'm going to elaborate a little bit later.
That is truly an inspiring book. So apart from the 1st book, what about Dream Thrive?
So Dream Thrive is actually published a year later, so that is in 2020. So back then when I was serving a charity, a local educational charity in Hong Kong, they are doing fundraising campaign, and there is such a destiny that that charity is actually the charity that helped me a lot when I was a kid. So around 10 years later, after I graduated from that charity and that program, I really want to contribute back. So I gathered 4 other volunteers and alumni, so we share about our life-changing stories. So a little bit more about the content of the book, although you must have to read it and get a book and to support the charity, but I will disclose a little bit about the content. So basically the book is about gathering 5 stories from five university students. Although they are not coming from a very wealthy family, although they are not having plenty of resources for them to use all over their life, but they are still making positive changes in their life. They are still going for their dream, and one day their dream will thrive. So that is basically the content of it.
So, about the third book, Dawn, what is the book about?
So Dawn is actually Lai Ming in Cantonese. It's not Leon Lai, it's not the famous singer, you know. So it is about the sunrise, the first sunshine that shines into your room. I want to capture this moment because an 18 years old, 19 years old is basically the most beautiful time in a person's life. So this book is actually related to an 18 years old I have never dreamt of. If you remember, I just talked about an 18 years old I've never dreamt of is about the early life development, the early life changes and the elements together with 2 formulas. But after that, after 2 years when I published the book, I found that I'm not sure if the formulas in the book is actually working in different people's life. So this year I revised this book, and then I invite around 10 international school students as well as traditional school students to try to adopt the formula and see what kind of changes are in their life. So this book is basically capturing the observation, the findings about the 2 formulas that I just suggest, to test it out, see if that is useful, if that is meaningful, and if that really have something positive, have something positively affecting my students' life.
What a great book and inspiring experience that your book has given to youngsters.
Yep.
So the last book that you've written is From School to Business to Wisdom. So what is the book about?
Like from you can see from the book cover, there are 3 main elements like school, business, and wisdom. So that is basically the 3 part that I experienced in my early life. So this year I'm 21 years old already, and I experienced around 20 years in school and 3 years in business, and spending my entire life to discover something related to wisdom. So this book is basically focusing on how you can do better at school. For example, we will discuss questions like how you spend your time in school that will make the most of your college time, how we study and get a better grade in school even if we do not study much. So that is the school part. We discuss questions, interesting questions related to your university studies and high school study. And another part is about business. So talking about business, it is always about like building teams, how do I build a business model, how do I pitch to people, how do I present ideas, etc. But there are actually some art and technique in every single part of the business operation. So in that aspect, I share little tips and observation findings around me and around my successful mentor, how they do well in their business. So it is also about like experience sharing, but that is not too much about a personal experience, just like the previous 3 books. It's more about the collection of wisdom from the author myself and also my mentors, my advisors, and peers around me. And the final element is wisdom. That is about the important parts of your life. For example, we will talk about questions like, how do I look for things that are really important to me? How do I identify my purpose of life? Those kind of like deep questions that I guess if you're children, you're students, the earlier that you think about it, the earlier you will become a mature person. So that is it, basically collective wisdom, gathering from me, myself, and also my mentors, my advisors.
So as a teenager myself, I truly find the books you've mentioned for is truly inspiring. From having a positive mindset from school to university to the society, I think nowadays teenagers like me can truly benefit from your advice.
Thank you so much, and also thanks for the opportunity, TecTechain, and thanks for watching this video. I really hope you enjoy. And there are a few reasons why you should read my books, right? The first reason is that it is packed with like knowledge and also personal experience that will save you like 10-20 years to discover yourself. And the second reason is that it is not just about the story of myself, but also my mentors, my advisors, etc. So you will have to learn more about the mentors, their successful experience, their opinion, and their mindset. And if these 2 reasons are not enough to convince you, the final reason is that these books are interesting. It's always interesting to discover stories from other people, right? So yeah, remember to look for the book on TecTechain, and also to order the book. There are digital copy, there are physical copy, there are also physical pickup spots as well. I hope you enjoy reading books.